Good day, family. Today is the first episode of Tribe Lab. So, as I promised, the previous episode, which was the trial episode, I said there's an elephant in the room that I need to talk about. So, today, on my first podcast, I'm going to do exactly that and talk about this problem that I experienced. I felt, that it would be appropriate, as I said, that this channel or this podcast is mainly to educate, it's mainly to share experiences, it's also to talk about everything and anything. So, my situation as we stand is because I was scammed. Yes. Long story short, long story short, how it happened. So, for over a year ago, there was this Telegram page called uh, Nomvulo. Yes, Nomvulo. So today, I am sharing a personal story about a scam I fell victim to this Instagram. No, rather Telegram. I'm doing this to raise awareness, as I've said, and help everyone to avoid similar situation. I've got about 4 pages of the story. How it started, about part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. But because of time and the systems we're using, I don't want to be long. And of course, I'm also new into this podcast. So I have condensed the information, giving you the basic uh, facts. However, if anyone is disputing that, you're welcome on the comments on my Facebook page. And also, if you have experienced that similar scam, also on the comments. And also, if my family, my followers are interested to get to the details, because I've got all the details. I've got the bank statement where I deposited the money and to who the recipient was of the money. Right. Let's get to it. So, as I was saying, I saw this live promotion on Facebook featuring a well-known celebrity endorsing an investment opportunity with Nomvulo on Telegram. The promise was too good to be true. Invest minimum 950 and earn up to 57,500 in hours. And they've got the allogram that shows you these uh, proofs of how this money is growing and who got paid and wara. However, I ignored my doubts and invested. I'll repeat that. I ignored my doubts that this is not true. Run as fast as you can handle. But then something struck in my head, You know what? You've been seeing this for a couple of months. I think I first saw this in 2024, 2025 on my Instagram. On my Instagram, I've got this page just for the sake of clarity. On my Instagram, let's go there quickly. There, you see, Nomvulo Mbata. But now the faces of this Nomvulo Mbata with two kids kissing her. You see there on the profile. They've removed. And then let me go to the second one. Here's the second one. Also, they've been removed. But then I've got the screenshots. I've got the conversation screenshots that lured me, or which was the bait for me to deposit the money, because we had the back and forth conversation on Telegram with this I assumed was Nomvulo Mbata. All right. So red flags started popping up when, now that I've invested the 950, then, okay, just few steps backwards. The investment account was in a person's name. That's a red flag. Because whenever you're going to invest with legitimate company or fund or whatever it may be, they must have the company business banking details. However, when I saw this name with the banking details of Capitec, I questioned. In my understanding, I'm having a conversation with Nomvulo Mbata. And then she was like, no, don't worry. It is legitimate because we've got different bank accounts. And then when I went to Instagram to this link, there were 4 different, and I realized these names are foreign, are not South African names. I mean, I'm quite exposed to different languages, South African languages, whether it's Pedi, Tswana, Zulu, Ndebele, Shangaan, Xhosa, Sotho, English, Afrikaans. It was none of those names. Okay, that was the first red flag. They gave me a banking details with the person's details. Now, not a company. And then I deposited the money because again, she was showing me the lost opportunity if I don't invest and da. So, okay. But at the back of my mind, if you have worked in a retail store, there's what we call shrinkage or called foregone cost. Shrinkage is when the staff of Truworths or Pick and Pay or whatever stealing within the company. And then when they're doing the stock taking, they can't account for these things that are missing. Or, for example, if an employer or rather employee is packing, then things gets broken, like milk or whatever, then it falls under the shrinkage. All right. So in the back of my mind, I had to use that mentality. If at all I'm investing this 950, 99.999, I'm going to lose this money. However, I'm adamant to prove to myself or whatever. I don't know what was happening in my head at that time, but I knew I'm going to lose the money more than I'm going to get the 57,500, wara. So I deposited the money. Now, what kicks in after that? The tone change. The way the English is communicated is different. I'm like, oh, Andile, you are done, brother. They've knocked you. Anyway, now they show me some slides that, okay, we've received proof of payment. Yes, you are in. Wara. Now your money is starting to grow. And now when they started showing me the money growing, they show me in Nigerian currency, Niger currency. Now, for the first time, I'm like, okay, I've been played here because all along they've been consistent, like convincing me this is legitimate, posting screenshots of who have received and videos. You remember my first red flag was that this account was in a person's name. The second red flag now that is coming through in terms of convincing people's winnings is Nigerian nationals. Okay? I'm like, what the F is going on here now? You know? But I was convinced it was still legitimate. I was told now the tone changes. Now they're showing me about 10,000, 10 million naira that I've won. You have to convert it into South African currency. Okay? And then they were saying now this is what the ultimate amount has grown to that I invested from the 950. Okay? This is now on the same day, around about 3 hours. Yeah. And then this all happened on the 18th of February. Yeah. Now they are saying to me, to retrieve this money of yours, you need to deposit 250,000 naira, which is when I made myself dumb. I said, I don't understand. Because at the beginning, when we were communicating about the investing of this amount, there was never any mentioning that when I am going to be paid what I've invested, I still have to pay for getting that money. Now you see what they are doing, they are playing with your mind because they want to check now how greedy are you, because now you have already lost 950 and now they're saying deposit 250 naira to verify my account and receive my winnings. That's when I realized I've been scammed. Because now converting this 250,000 naira into rands was about 3,400 compared to 57,500 or 87,000. So now they are playing you because if you're stupid enough, you're gonna say, "What the heck? I paid 950. Now I've winnings is about 87,000 or 55,000, 55,500. Now what is 3,400 for me for verification so that I can get all the money? Now that's where they're gonna really kill you. They're gonna bury you. Now what I said, you know what? This was never disclosed upfront that when the winnings are due to be deposited into my account, there's also still a verification amount money to prove my account. Because at the beginning, now this is in communication. In words, communication on Telegram. Now that I've won, now you are mentioning this. You didn't disclose this upfront. So for me, I'd rather lose the 950. Remember, I've already psyched myself that this is going to, it's too good to be true, so I'm going to lose this money. Not that money grows on trees, guys. No. I could die a lot with the 950. But then, what if this is true? Okay? But then, there was a 9% on that possibility. 99.99999. I knew I'm taking a high risk. So, that's where the communication started getting frozen. Because now, they want me to pay the 3,400, excuse me, so that they can scam me for the second time, because they will see now, okay, this one is really our target, is our victim. We're gonna clean him skin to bone if he pays this 3.4. Because what is gonna happen in my assumption now, if I could have paid that 3,400, there could have been another stage, another level of scam that, okay, the 3,400, we've got it. Now, if you could just pay this for another excuse, then they will keep on until you see yourself losing 10, 20,000. So guys, Nomvulo on Instagram is a scam. They've scammed me. However, that is what makes you even wiser in the future to take the risk. So for those who have not mentioned been scammed, because I can't believe I'm the only one who've been scammed by these people. However, there's that mentality, oh yo, bazawuthini, uyabona? What are people are gonna say? Because I'd rather keep this to myself, and then by doing so, you are not helping. There's a saying which is also my catchphrase: what you are not changing, you are choosing. I'll repeat that. What you are not changing, you are choosing. So for me, I chose to speak about this Nomvulo. If Nomvulo is real and is paying the people their monies that they've invested, like myself, he must sue me. I'm still waiting for the day after today that Nomvulo, here is Andy Lesikasana. I'm exposing you on social media platforms. This is going to be on social media, Facebook platform, and also on my YouTube. And I will put in the description my links. So guys, this first episode was just to educate us on this type of scams that are happening. And also, let's be grown enough not to be shy to talk about things that happen into our lives so that we can protect others who are unable to speak for themselves. And I can assure you, there are hundreds and hundreds of people who have been scammed who are South Africans. And by the way, this Nomvulo is a scam behind the name. These are Nigerians. And this is not xenophobic. This is not none of that. This is just facts. This is a taste in the pudding that I've tasted. I've got nothing against anyone. I don't even want to go there anyway to talk about that type of discrimination. But I've been scammed by Nigerians. That's all I can say. So Albert Einstein cannot solve a problem at the same level it was created. If you have to solve that problem, you actually have to rise to another level to solve it. In hindsight, what does this mean? This means you cannot solve a problem at the same level it was created. You have to create, rather, if the problem was created by myself to solve it, I have to rise above that level. So I've created this problem to myself to be scammed. So what am I saying? Now I'm rising above that level of myself creating this problem to be scammed, to stop it so that it doesn't happen. All right. So yeah, that is a lesson, people. And then I would like to also talk about some other catchphrases that I love. Henry Ford said the hardest job in the world is to create work, because why most people don't do it is because they don't want to think. That is the hardest problem of the universe, is people to think. So, as I was saying, if you cannot change it, you are choosing. And let's not be lazy, people, to think before we act on things. In my situation, I've recovered from the 950 because it has showed me a lesson. You can imagine if they're starting up investing on this Nomvulo was 3,000 or 5,000. and I would have fallen for it. I would have lost more. I've recovered from that 950, even though it's not fair, it's not right, but then I'm over it. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. The other thing I would like to share with my family is that the magic that you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding. The magic that you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding. I will leave you guys with those words up until the next time we meet on this channel, Thrive Lab, under the banner Thrive Global Networks. I thank you. Have a great day.